Californians already pay twice the national average for their electricity, but politicians in Sacramento are about to make things much worse and charge you a whole lot more, despite the fact that an audit shows that they've been defrauding you for years. Coming up, I'll tell you about the scam, how your rates are going to go up, and what we're doing to fight back to save you money and how you can join that fight. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state legislator. For years, I've railed against the scam on our utility bills in California, where politicians in Sacramento have implemented something called the Green New Deal, or as I like to jokingly call it, the Greedy New Steal. These are mandates and a variety of hidden state taxes and fees that have resulted in your electricity rates being higher than the national average, by more than double the national average. These illegal charges, and I call them illegal charges because they're literally taxes masquerading as fees. These illegal charges have been woven into your utility rates, and most Californians are not even aware that they're being price gouged by the politicians. They blame their utility company when in fact, this is done by the politicians through a bureaucracy that they appoint called the California Public Utilities Commission. In a moment, I'm going to walk through the scam that they've been perpetrating for several years, as well as a damning audit that just was released by the independent state auditor that admits that you've been overcharged and that the money has been misspent for many years. But first, I want to let you know how to fight back, how to reduce your utility rates by joining us at Reform California. Go to the website reformcalifornia.org, reformcalifornia.org, and click under the campaign section. Block the utility rates. That's on that website. We have a campaign to stop the constant price spikes in your utility rates and block the hidden fees that they're adding. This campaign is moving forward to make electricity rates an issue in every candidate race for the state assembly and state senate, as well as put a ballot measure on the ballot to block these illegal fees that are being charged on your utility rates. Go to the website, check out that campaign, and sign up. Chip in a contribution if you can at reformcalifornia.org. Reformcalifornia.org. Please sign up at least at the bottom of the website, first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code, so that you are tethered into our growing movement across the state to save you money, to stop the corruption, and to elect better leaders. I think the only way we're going to get rational policy again in California is if we can break the Democrat supermajority in Sacramento. So reformcalifornia.org, click under the tab campaigns, and then scroll down to this campaign right here. It's block the rate hikes, block the rate hikes, and you'll be tethered into our campaign to save you money on your utility bill. So what have we found? Here is the audit in the state of California. It says, California Public Utilities Commission, without improving oversight, the benefits of energy efficiency programs may not be worth their cost to ratepayers. This is a joint legislative audit committee directed audit by the state auditor, who's appointed and is independent and does pretty good work. They reviewed the public purpose programs for energy efficiency. These are programs that are created by state government, and then in order to pay for these energy efficiency programs, they charge you higher electricity rates through the public purpose charges on your electricity bill. Now, you can't even find these charges because they are hidden in the per kilowatt hour rate that you're charged. That's why our per kilowatt hour rate in California is double the national average. It doesn't cost inherently more money to generate electricity in California versus the rest of the country. Generating a kilowatt hour of electricity is basic physics, but it does cost more money in California when we add hidden taxes and fees and mandates and regulations to how it's done. That's the big differential here. And that's what most people don't understand. They think, oh, my local utility company is price gouging. No, the politicians have created an environment where you're paying twice the national average. In fact, according to the Edison Electric Institute, which is a nonprofit, they do a transparency study every year. The profit margin of California public utility companies, the investor-owned utilities, is not anywhere near the national average. They're at the low end of profit margins. Where's the cost coming from? Not profit. It's coming from California state government taxes and fees. And this audit says the money that the California politicians are collecting on your back, on your utility bill, those funds are not being properly spent. It says here, we compared utilities reported savings, electricity savings for cost effectiveness and savings of energy for these energy efficiency programs, quote, and found that utilities program portfolios generally fell short of achieving goals. We found that the 4 utility program portfolios were rarely cost effective, and that 20 efficiency programs reviewed did not achieve expected energy savings and were also generally not cost effective. Who's paying the cost? You are. We're not getting the energy efficiency that they're claiming, but you're paying the price. And you should ask the question, why am I paying for energy efficiency? Why shouldn't I just focus on my own energy efficiency? Where are these programs actually spending their money? They're giving free solar panels to people who can't afford them. They're putting new windows on homes as a way of reducing that person's energy bill, but you're paying for the new windows. I don't know about you, but I think you should be left to decide whether you want to be more efficient. Let the market set the price for electricity, give you an incentive to get new windows or to do solar. That is how all the other states handle this, but not California. They force you to pay higher rates and then subsidize other people. And then those subsidies are not even producing the energy savings that are being purported in the entire program. The auditors have slammed these programs. Another organization, the Transparency Foundation, did an audit, and it said, what are the real cost drivers of the rates in California? And it says here that $4.5 billion of hidden state taxes and costly climate change mandates are causing the electricity rates to be higher than the national average. And so they go through talking about the Green New Deal, and they also have the profit margins for utility companies. As I just summarized, the profit margin for California utility companies much lower than the national average. Right here, I can show you the chart. National average profit margin was 17.1, according to Edison Electric Institute. SGG&E is below 15%. Southern California Edison is 6.2%. PGE is less than 1%. It's 0.67%. The margins way below national average, but the rates are so high. Why are we paying more? Well, first of it's the climate change regulations, supply restrictions on where we're getting our energy, the cap and trade tax, which is added to the cost of energy, and various other charges. The climate change charges, like I just mentioned, these energy efficiency programs that are adding to your utility rates. The Transparency Foundation then adds it all up right back here at the back. If you take a look at this, this is the utility rate case for 2021 for PGE, Southern California Edison, and San Diego Gas and Electric. And the yellow is actual cost of production of energy. The blue here, transmission lines, are the infrastructure. But see all the green? Those are all the hidden state taxes and fees for all of these regulatory programs that other states don't have. And that is spiking your bill dramatically. And that's above and beyond what local governments are applying to these agencies. Now, who's approving all these scam taxes? Not even the legislature. It's an unelected bureaucracy called the California Public Utilities Commission. And these unelected bureaucrats, none of them, here are their pictures. Let's make them famous. They're a bunch of left-wing activists appointed by the governor who have no experience in managing utility companies, and yet they serve on the Public Utilities Commission. Where is their experience? They're all environmental activists, lawyers. They're from the environmental advocacy groups. They're insane. And they have no regard for the cost that these hidden taxes are applying to your household budget. They all ought to be removed from office and replaced, frankly, with ratepayers, or at the very least, with utility experts, people who know about how to drive down the cost of electricity. Because people are getting killed out there when it comes to their monthly costs on energy and gas. And it's going to get worse. Gavin Newsom is using the Public Utilities Commission to break a deal, a contract with tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of homeowners across the state of California who were duped into investing in solar. They were told by politicians all the way back in 2005, 2008, 2010, 2015, 2020, that if you invest and put solar on your home, you're going to save a bunch of money. Because the state of California will allow you to, buy the energy that you need from the grid. But when you produce more energy than you're using, you can sell it for the same price. Net metering. Well, they changed all that. And now they want to do a complete violation of that contract. Here's the headline from Folsom Times. Solar owners could face new fees as CPUC, that group, that unelected bureaucrats I just talked about, CPUC responds to Newsom order. Newsom is ordering them to go price gouge by applying an extra flat charge to anyone who owns solar, to basically renege on the deal for the savings. These people are liars, cheats, and thieves. And they've been using the hidden charges on your utility bill each month to basically scam you and steal your money. It is time for us to reform the Public Utilities Commission by removing the commissioners, appointing new ones, and banning any hidden state tax or fee on your electricity bill. The only thing you should be paying for is the cost of the electricity. Period. Full stop. If you believe that we need to have accountability and transparency on utility rates in California, join that campaign I referenced at the beginning of our podcast. Block the rate hikes at reformcalifornia.org. Reformcalifornia.org. Chip in a contribution, sign up, share that campaign page with all of your friends and family, and ask them to join this uprising of ratepayers across the state who are sick and tired of paying double for electricity than the national average. And the reason why politicians are stealing our money by adding these illegal state taxes and fees to our utility rates. Until next time, I'm Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California and a California state legislator. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.